Everyone, welcome back to Bumble Stitches Flossmas with me, Nicola. Today is Monday the 18th of December, so it's just 1 week to go until the big day. Are you all ready for Christmas? I know I'm not. I have managed to tick quite a few things off my list over the weekend. I've had a long weekend. Today has been a day's leave for me, so I have got quite a few things done, but there still seems to be way too many things to do, so I hope you're better organised than I am. Thank you for coming back to join me again today. It's really great to have you here, and if you're new here, thank you for joining me. I'm going to start off today's video with some questions that I've got. I've just got them on my iPad here. There's some questions that I'd missed in the comments, so I thought I'd just run through those first. This one's quite timely actually, or not timely, depending on which way you look at it. Lindsay Shores said, what about stitching Whitaker on white and sewing him some little pants? It's a little bit late for that, unfortunately, Lindsay. I have already started Whitaker and I'm going to be sharing him with you in a little while, but that is a great idea. Patricia says, it looks so lovely and green where you are in the countryside. Yes, it is lovely and green at the moment, even though it's winter. She was wondering what linen colour I'm using for Jolly Old Soul. It's actually linen from Paula from Eva Faith on Etsy, and it's the colourway Dove. So it's a nice soft grey. Ginny Gilbertson says, love your Flossmas. I must have missed it, but who is Paula you mentioned? Well, Paula is my my really good stitchy friend and knitty friend. That's how we met, through knitting, but we've both sort of diversified in our crafts. Paula is the Snail Garden on YouTube and also on Instagram, and she has an Etsy shop where she sells hand-dyed linens, and that is called Eva Faith. So that's who Paula is. Pam asks about the fields being very green again. Is it winter wheat growing? I'm not too sure, but I suspect it probably is winter wheat. Next question. Jenny Lowe asks, can you tell me if I can purchase Merry Old Soul here in the UK, as I am desperate to stitch him, or if you got the pattern from America? Could you let me know if the shipping was very expensive? Jenny, that pattern I did actually buy here in the UK, I believe from Peakside Needleworks, but that was probably about 2 years ago. And since then, Brenda Gervais has sadly decided to stop shipping internationally. So the charts that you get here of Brenda's are very few and far between. I would suggest taking a look at 123 Stitch. Their shipping is quite reasonable, and also check out Farm Girl Dry Goods. She has a flat rate shipping to the UK, which I think is $15, but you might need to check that to make sure it's current. The one thing I would say is buyer beware. If you buy anything from outside the country, be prepared to pay customs charges. Packages don't always get stopped at customs, but if they do, obviously you'll have to pay the VAT, and the real killer is you have to pay an admin fee. So sometimes, by the time the admin fee, last time I paid one was about £8, it may have gone up, and then you have your shipping on top of that and your VAT. So sometimes all of those things can cost more than the original thing that you bought. So just think carefully and be aware that that could be the case. Wanda Thornton asked how many strands of DMC floss did you use on the pillow ornaments hanging on your tree? I'm actually going to switch the lights to non-flashing because I find them a little bit distracting. No, they're not going to do it now, are they? No. let's just leave them like that. Hopefully that's okay. It's a little bit distracting. Yeah, the little blue Lorry Holt pillows I stitched with 2 strands of DMC on a 14 count Ada. And I think that is all the questions. So thank you for your questions, and thank you for all your lovely comments as well. I really do love reading them and appreciate the time that you take to sit and put your comment in. On the last episode, I opened my advent and I received this gorgeous gift here from Paula, and I described it as a count, you know, could be used. I read out what it was, embroidery thread tail tucker, and then went rambling on saying, oh, this is great, you could use it in a pin cushion, you could use it as a counting pin or anything where you would use a long pin. Always 100 miles an hour me. When I finished the video and was editing, I read the little piece of paper that came with it, and this is actually an ingenious little tool. I'm just going to bring my chair a tiny bit closer. Okay, so I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up or if you will be able to see, but this pin, can you see? Probably not. The pin is actually split along its length, so it's like a giant eye of a needle. It's obviously 2 very thin strands of wire that are held together. And it says, when using the tail tucker, please do not force the needle through the stitches. Please make sure the threads you are going through are not too tight. You run the tail tucker under your stitches, open up the eye and thread the thread through and pull back. So this is for when you've played floss chicken and you've got really tiny ends, not enough as you would like to weave through, or just when you want to really tidy things up. I think that's a really cool gadget, and I'm looking forward to giving that one a try. So that is the embroidery thread tail tucker, and I can't get it back on the little card, so I'm just going to pop it over here. We've been chatting about M&S quite a bit, haven't we, and the tins and the biscuits and all the lovely things, and while I was looking for something else, I stumbled across one of the tins that I got last year, which is this one. Super cute, and it's another musical one. Shall we give it one turn and see if it plays ball? I don't know if it's Jingle Bells again. Oh no, this one is Wish You a Merry Christmas. So really cute, and this one comes open at the top, so it had goodies in there, and there's a little musical thing here. So do keep an eye out. They're probably all gone in our M&S's now, but I know some of you have found them at Target. But really good for a finish as well, either a finish or just to form part of a little display, but really cute. Thank you for ending on time. Okay, so that's the M&S biscuit tins. What else have I been up to? Well, today was a bit of a chores day. I was out this morning, ran a few errands, got the car clean, picked up Alfie's treatments from the vets, and went to the pharmacy and did all that kind of stuff. And then I came back and I set to work on my to-do list for today. And one of the things I really wanted to do today was make a wreath for our front door. I've never made a wreath before. I've never done any sort of floristry or anything like that, but I'm always a let's have a go and see what happens kind of person. So I'll pop a picture up here so you can see. And basically I bought a, I think they're made from dried vine, a vine wreath from Hobbycraft. It was about £5, and some floristry tape, which I think might have to be replaced with wire. And then I did some foraging in my own garden. Next door to me have got a huge bay tree that hangs over the fence, and I just got some of the bits that are hanging over the fence that were sort of technically in my garden. I'm sure they won't mind. And made this wreath and finished it off with some red satin ribbon. I'm really, really pleased with the outcome. I don't think the floristry tape is going to hold it well enough for the season, so I am going to pick up some wire next time I'm out and just give it a little extra go around with the wire to make sure that all the bay branches are held on securely. But it was really nice to have a go at making a wreath. I've seen lots of fancy ones and they are so expensive, and I thought it would be nice to have a little go. So it was inexpensive, it was fun to do, it's, you know, it's from my own home, and yeah, hopefully it will last the season. So that was another tick off my list. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is something else that I made yesterday, and it's one of the ornaments that I was stitching as part of my 12 Starts of Christmas. So it's one of these from this pattern booklet here from It's So Emma, and I stitched Rudolph, and I showed you the finished stitching, and it is now an FFO. So here is my Rudolph ornament, and I'm really pleased. I think he came out really well. It's super cute. These are the little tart flan tins from Fat Quarter Shop. They're really nice and shallow and very lightweight, so they're not too heavy. I stitched him on 25 count white Lugana with 2 strands of DMC, exactly as the chart calls for, and I used the sticky board circles from Fat Quarter Shop as well, which made the finishing really easy. Now when I just popped him onto the sticky board and sat him in the white tart tin, it was all a bit white, there wasn't a lot of contrast, so I thought he needed a little bit of extra Christmas pizzazz. So I found some pom-pom trim and popped that round as well. And what I actually did was, before I put him in, I ran a small amount of hot glue around the inside of the scallops of the tin, and then popped the pom-pom trim in, and then put the little stitched piece over the top, so it sits, you can see it sort of sits just below there. Oops, and I've thrown it on the floor. Okay, he's back. None the worse for wear. I then finished off with a small bow with some green velvet I had in my stash, a little red bead and some red and white twine. So he now has pride of place at the front of the tree, and these little charts are so much prettier when they are stitched. They look fab on the front of the booklet there, but I just think they really come to life when they're stitched. So I'm pleased to have another ornament on my tree, and he can go back after filming. And some more making went on today. We do a Secret Santa in our office. I am actually the elf that's organising all the Secret Santa goings on, and my the recipient that I have has been having a little go. She's just starting out in some crafty things, and I know that she wanted to try some sort of needle craft or embroidery or cross stitching or something like that. So today I sat and made a little project bag, which is this one, just using some scraps in my stash just to make a little patchwork project bag. It's just plain fabric on the back. I put my little label on there, and this little charm, super cute if it will stay still, was one from Paula. I think Paula made this. She's sometimes sells things like that in her Etsy shop as well. And then inside here for my Secret Santa, I've popped an embroidery hoop, just a little wooden hoop, some embroidery crewel needles, and a little embroidery kit. So I hope she likes it. I know she doesn't watch these videos. Well, I hope she doesn't watch these videos. I'm pretty sure she doesn't. Otherwise, the surprise will be spoiled. But I thought that was a nice little Secret Santa gift, and I really enjoyed making the bag. The bag is actually much more fiddly to make a small one than it is to make a full-size one. But I thought it wouldn't overwhelm the project. And also because it was just a £10 budget for our Secret Santa. So hopefully she'll enjoy that. I know the game will be given away by the fact that my label's on there, but I did, once, you know, we've all swapped presents, I wanted her to know that I'd made this for her. Why would you wouldn't make a bag for somebody, would you, and not let them know that you'd made it? That's my thinking anyway. So that's another big tick off my Christmas list. Let's talk about stitching before we get to my advents and Alfie's advent as well. And I've got a question for you guys as well, because I need a little bit of help with something. So the last project that I was stitching on in my 12 starts of Stitchmas was in this bag, and it was Whitaker. And that's why I said that I think it was Lindsay's comment was a little bit, yeah, we're out of time on that one, unfortunately. I need to grab a design board. I didn't iron Whitaker, unfortunately. I kind of have run out of time, a little bit run out of energy as well today, if I'm honest. So here is Whitaker by Stacey Nash, and I'm hoping this is going to show up. There's not a great deal of contrast on this fabric. You can see though, he's got his head, and I put his nose, mouth and eyes in just because I don't like to leave, if I'm stitching something like this, I like to get the features in because I don't like to leave them just with a blank face. I feel a bit sad about it. So I think once it's all stitched and cut to the shape of the design, I think it will be fine. And if not, I can always do a bit of a back stitch around him. So that is Whitaker. And of course that means I'm ready for a new start today. And I've been following the order that everyone voted in the comments a couple of videos ago. So that means that the next one up will be G is for Gingerbread. That of course is living in this gorgeous bag. That was my day one gift in my Advent swap with Paula. I'm just thinking, if you were playing a drinking game and every time I said Paula you had a drink, then you'd be having a very merry old time indeed. So in here, no surprises, in a bag that's completely covered in gingerbread houses, I have got G is for Gingerbread by Christina of Whilst Iris Naps. And look at that, it's just the cutest little gingerbread pillow that you ever did see, and the little charm on there and his little bow tie, just perfect. Now of course I try not to do anything by halves and always just set myself up for as much work as possible. So I have got in my bag, I've got this fabric from West Green Lofts, and this is the April colourway, and it doesn't have a name, but you can see it's a really nice colour. I should have stitched Whitaker on this fabric, but I think he'll be fine. I'm not unpicking what I've done already. So the flosses are all the called for DMC. Christina does give you, I think it's Weeks Dye Works and DMC options in the chart. And you'll notice that I have got a blue and a pink here. Now, why did I have a blue and a pink? So here's the little guy there. And I know that I did plan to do one each for Justin and I. And, that's why on the back of the chart, she puts a little present and the year. So I should do those in blue for Justin and pink for me. And I've got the little charms. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. N and J. So these are the same charms that Christina used. Now I need to get a little bit of gingham ribbon. So I think they are going to look super cute. There's quite a lot of stitching involved in one of those. It's a 36 count that I'm using, and I think she calls for 36 count. Yeah, she used 36 count R&R reproductions in Creme Brulee, and that gives you an approximate size of 3 by 4 1/8 inch. The stitch count is 55 by 75. So they're quite dinky and I think they'll be really cute. I'm really looking forward to these. So that's my new start for this evening. Now I need your help. One of my new starts for this 12 starts of Christmas is the Laurie Holt Vintage Sampler. Let me refresh your memory. Because I was laying in bed last night thinking about linen, as you do, and this is the chart, and this is the chart that I use for stitching the little blue pillows on my tree. So here's the chart. Bear in mind vintage, and you can see the vibe I'm going for in here at Christmas with my tree. I'm trying to go a little bit sort of that vintagey look, and I had pulled some 25 count Lugana in white as the pattern calls for, and bear in mind also the tiny buttons that are stitched onto some of these little motifs. I thought to myself, well, wouldn't it be nice? I don't really enjoy stitching on pure white fabric, and I find it a little bit stark. And I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I just really mixed it up and stitched it on a coloured linen? Now, I was a member of Crafty Kate's Fabric of the Month earlier this year, and I have got 2 pieces of 36 count linen. So this is going to make the sampler much smaller. If it's on, it doesn't give you sizes for 36 count. Approximate finished size is 9.5 by 12.5, and that's actually on a 10 count vintage cloth. So mine would be a little bit, trying to do maths now in my head. Mine's a 25 count. So that would be a little bit bigger. Smaller, a little bit smaller. I'm sorry, it's been a long day. That would be a little bit smaller than the size given on the chart. So if I went to 36 count, it's going to be quite a lot smaller, but I think it would be really sweet. Now I've got these 2 colours of linen. I've got the really icy blue and this pink, which is coming out almost like a salmony pink on the camera, but it's a proper sort of rosy pink, and I really like all the mottling on this particular piece. And I was thinking, would this look fabulous if I stitched it on the coloured linen? And one of my floss has got a little bit. Okay, this is all the DMC. Now when you vote, you can vote in the comments below and tell me which you would prefer. I'm going to let you into a little secret. I really like the pink best, but I'm open to suggestions. That's why I'm asking you. So do I go for the pink or the blue for this vintage Christmas sampler? And here it is. And then I'll need to decide for the borders what colour I would choose. I think I'd probably go, if I use the pink, I'd probably pull this shade out, or a blue. I should have organised this before, shouldn't I, really? I think I'd probably pull one of those for the borders, which I think looks really cute. This looks really nice. And if I went for the blue, I could either go with the white for the borders or possibly the green. But I'd like to see what your opinion is, so do let me know what you think would be a really fun way to go. I'm definitely not going to do it on the white, so it's going to be the pink or the blue. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Right, I think we are I've been rambling on for quite a long time today. So let me open up my Advent with no further ado. This is day 9 of my every other day 12 days of Christmas Advent swap with Paula. have a drink of your drink if you're drinking. And let's see what's inside here. Quite intrigued. This is quite a little chunky. Oh, this is gorgeous. This is a little Belgian chocolate gingerbread man. Super, super cute. And any prizes for guessing? M&S. And he is a milk chocolate figure with dark and white chocolate and orange and red decorations. Super cute. And then Paula has put in here a gorgeous little package full of, these are glaring way too much, aren't they? Let's take some out. These are tiny little gingerbread man charms, because obviously everything's been gingerbread themed throughout this. So it's quite appropriate that I should be starting the Cheers for Gingerbread this evening. These gorgeous little gingerbread charms. Thank you, Paula. It's lovely. And I shall, am I allowed to eat the chocolate now, or do I have to wait until Christmas? Because I am feeling the need for something sweet at the moment. Right, Alfie has got his advent. I'm actually going to end the video here tonight and get him back on the next video, because yeah, I need to move the evening on a little bit. I hope you won't miss him too much, and he'll be back on the next episode on Wednesday. So until then, take care. Bye.